Good morning, student. Jai Swaminarayan. Welcome back to Atmiya Green School, Jhadeshwar Bharuch. My name is Swati Sharma. This is class 8 maths, and our topic is data handling. Okay, in this chapter we already learn about what is data. What is data? Collection of information is called the data. What do you mean by raw data? When we data collected direct from the source, that is called raw data. Okay, since this is the initial collection of observation in the unorganized form, this data is called raw data. Now what is observation? Mark obtained by each student in an item in the data called the observation. It is also called a variable as its value is different for different student. Okay, now organization of data. What if data is in raw form? It's meaningless. Okay, so first of all, we cannot analyze the data or make meaningful prediction unless the data is properly organized. This is done by arranging the data in either ascending order or descending order. Understand? This is arrange the data. If we arrange the data, data are called array of the data. Okay, what is range of the data? The difference between the highest class limit and lowest class limit is called range of the data. Okay, what is group data? What is group data? From the rearranged data, we find that the 60 observation given in the data consist of 42 different values. Okay, if there are 60 observation, then we see there are 42 different values. Listing the frequency of all these observation in a tally chart would not only be tedious, means it's very lengthy, but will also not help us to make any meaningful analysis. Therefore, we group the data into classes. What is class? What is class? If we arrange it, the group 0 to 10, 10 to 20 are called classes or categories. Okay, we divided into its categories. Okay, what do you mean by class interval or class interval? What is the class interval? Upper class limit minus lower class limit is called class interval or class width. Understand? Or class size. We told class limit, class size or class width. Okay, what is class limit? Upper minus lower, it is called class limit. Okay, understand? Now we have to find what is the frequency. The number of times observation occur in a particular class is called the frequency of that class. Okay, group frequency distribution, presentation of data in group or classes along with the frequency of each class is called frequency. Frequency table of group data or grouped frequency distribution. Okay, understand? And you know what is tally marks, you know what is pictograph, and what is continuous form of data and what is non direct form of the data. Okay, if we write the data 1 to 10, then 11 to 20, 21 to 30, that is called direct form, and continuous form 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30 is called direct. It is called continuous. Understand? Now if we talking about histogram, mean, median and mode. What is mean of the data? What is arithmetic mean? Sum of all observation divided by total number of observation is called mean of the data. What is mode? What is mode of the data? Mode is the highest frequency is called mode of the data. Understand? Okay, now if we draw a bar graph for a individual frequency. Okay, bar graph, the height of the rectangle is proportional to the frequency of the item. Okay, that is called bar graph. And what is important guideline to make a bar graph? Write the title of the graph, label the axis, use appropriate numerical scale and equal interval, use equal with bar, keep equal space between the bars. Okay, understand? Now if we talk about histogram, what is histogram? What is histogram? A histogram is a pictorial representation of a group data in the form of rectangle touching each other, whose base represent the class interval and whose height corresponds to the frequency of classes. Okay, understand? Now we have talking about what is pie chart. Okay, pie chart is a simple way of presenting simple data for easy understanding. Okay, it is circle divided into sectors. It is circle divided into sectors, and each sector has a size with a proportional to the activity or information it represents. Understand? Now, how to draw a pie chart? So, if we talk about how to draw a pie chart, see, this is the some example of pie chart. Okay, we have talking about it yesterday, and we know what is pie chart. Drawing a pie chart is a very easy. See, if percentage is given, chocolate, vanilla and other flavor. The favorite flavor of ice cream of a student of a school is given percentage as follow: chocolate 50%, vanilla 25%, other flavor 25%. Okay, now what we do, the total angle at the center of a circle is 360 degree. The central angle of the sector will be a fraction of 360 degree. मीन्स आप सर्कल को कितने भी भागों में बांट लें, पर ओवरऑल कितने डिग्री होना चाहिए? वो 360 डिग्री होना चाहिए, उससे ज़्यादा नहीं होना चाहिए. नाउ सी, चॉकलेट इज़ 50%. सो इन फ्रैक्शन आप परसेंटेज को कैसा लिख सकते हैं? 50%, दैट मीन्स 50/100. ओके, इट मीन्स 1/2. ओके, नाउ फ्रैक्शन ऑफ 360 डिग्री, 1/2 of 360, that is 180 degree. Understand? So this way you have to find degrees. Now how to draw the pie chart? So to draw a pie chart, the step of construction of pie chart are: convert the data into percentage, convert the percentage into degree of central angle. Okay, we have converted, means this way we have converted into central angles. Okay, divide the circle into sector according to the central angle. Now here see, one is 180 degree, 90 degree and 90 degree. So your circle you have to divide according to this. Okay, understand? So see, this is 180. So first part is for vanilla, first part is for chocolate ice cream. Okay, 180, that means this is the chocolate ice cream. Okay, that is vanilla and that is other flavor. Okay, this type you have to draw pie chart. But what is the step of construction? Understand? Shade or color each sector differently, give a key, give the heading. Okay, main part क्या है? Convert the data into percentage, convert the percent. If percentage is given, then your question will be very easy. Okay, but if the percentage is not given, then first convert into percentage, then convert the percentage into degree of central angle, divide the circle into sectors according to the central angle, shade or color each sector differently, give a key, give the heading. Understand? Now take one more example. Suppose this is example number 1. Adjoining pie chart gives the expenditure on various items and saving of a family during a month. Read this pie chart and answer the question. On which item the expenditure was maximum? Which expenditure was maximum? See, that is food. Okay, Now expenditure on which item is equal to the total saving of the family. So which is saving is 15%. So 10 house rent plus transport, that is if we sum these two, then we have tell the that is equal. Okay, now read example number 2. On a particular day, the sale of different item of a baker's shop are given below. See here percentage are not given. Here normally numbers are given. Ordinary bread is 320, food bread 80, cake and pastry 160, biscuit 120 and others 40. Okay, then what can you do? Ordinary bread 320, देन टोटल कितना हुआ पहले आपको यहाँ देखना है. व्हाट इज द टोटल अमाउंट इज 720, मीन्स हाउ मच ही सोल्ड आउट 720. ओके, सो इन फ्रैक्शन फर्स्ट यू हैव टू फाइंड फ्रैक्शन. सो फर्स्ट फाइंड 320 डिवाइडेड बाय 720, that is 4/9. now central angle 4/9 into 360, that is 160. okay, and see total. If you total it, total angle will be 180. Oh sorry, 360. Total angle will be 360. Now you have to draw the pie chart. Understand? This way you have to draw pie chart. And
very comfortable making bar graphs to represent data. We have looked at normal bar graphs, joint bar graphs, subdivided bar graphs, and percentage bar graphs. But bar graphs are not the only way to present the data. Look at this example in which we can see different types of cars and their sales in a particular month. So in that month, 150 type A cars were sold, 100 type B cars, 80 type C cars, and 170 type D cars were sold. First, let us see how the bar graph for this data would look. 4 bars to represent the sales of 4 types of cars. An appropriate scale of 1 centimeter equal to 40 cars was chosen. We can see that car D was the best-selling model in that month, and lesser numbers of car C were sold. But is there any other way in which we can represent this data? Assuming that these were the only 4 types of cars sold, this is another way in which the data can be shown. It's a circle divided into 4 parts or sectors of not necessarily the same sizes. If all these regions are sectors, it means this point has to be the center. But what are these regions? They represent the 4 parts, sales of each A, B, C and D. Do not worry about how we drew this. We will see that soon. Just try to understand the logic first. Assume this entire circle represents the total number of car sales. These 4 sum up to 500. 500 cars were sold that month. This region A represents 30% of the total sales, which is 150 cars. How did we get this 30%? 150 divided by 500 multiplied by 100, and that's 30%. In the same way, B represents 20%, which is 100 cars. C represents 16%, which is 80 cars. And D represents 34%, that is 170 cars. 150 is 30% of 500. 100 is 20% of 500. 80 and 170 are 16 and 34% respectively. The region A covers 30% of the entire circle. Region B covers 20% of the entire circle. And regions C and D represent 16 and 34% of the entire circle. We use a circle to represent the total and make parts of it to represent each category. This type of representation is called a pie chart. And what's the best example of a pie chart? Yes, it's a pizza. It's a pie chart with equal parts or sectors. I was looking for some examples of pie charts, but then I thought I should make one myself. So I asked many people a question. What do you do while waiting for your toast to pop up? I drew a circle that represents the number of people I approached. Around 4% of the people told me that they get butter and cutlery out. 2% of the people told me that they clean up the kitchen. And you will not believe that the remaining 94% told me that they just stare at the toaster. Isn't that true with us too?
Okay, I think you have learned about what is pie chart and how to draw it. Now see one more story so you can easily understand what is pie chart. Okay.
Now it's time to see how the pie charts are drawn. Consider this scenario. Students of class 8th of a school were asked about their favorite juice. The result of survey was then tabulated. Let's represent this data in a pie chart. First, draw the circle with center O. Now the total angle at the center of a circle is 360 degrees. We need the central angles corresponding to each sector. The total number of students is 100. The number of students who like pineapple is 45. So the fraction corresponding to pineapple is 9/20. Thus the central angle corresponding to the sector for pineapple is 9/20 into 360 degrees. That is 162 degrees. Similarly, find the central angles for other categories. Now, see the central angle for pineapple is 162 degrees. By using a protractor, draw an angle AOB equal to 162 degrees. Now, draw the sector for mango and the remaining part of the circle will be for orange. So, there you get your pie chart.
Miss Marks, now I remember, I once saw a pie chart in my science book also showing the composition of gases in the air.
You know, Snail, almost all data can be represented through pie charts.
Almost all? You mean there is some data that cannot be represented through a pie chart?
Well, let me take you to the virtual world for that. Let's challenge our brains. What if there is an overlap between the categories which we need to represent through pie chart? Consider this scenario. In a society of 100 people, 55 like cricket, 60 like football, and 15 like both. Now the challenge is, can we represent the common candidates in a pie chart? The answer is no. Such types of overlapping data can never be represented by a pie chart. Pictorially, it can be represented by overlapping circles. So you understood that, Snail?
Yes, Miss Marks. It's good to know that there are so many things in our daily life where we can apply mathematical concepts.
Yes, that's true. But you have to put some brains in it. Knowing you, that sounds as tough task.
This is not fair, Miss Marks. You are pulling my leg again.
Oh, Snail, don't get so emotional.
Miss Marks, suppose I need to show how my friend and I spent our pocket money. Then I can't show that on a pie chart either, isn't it?
Well, Snail, not on the same pie chart. But you can make two pie charts and put them side by side and then compare them. You see, there are still some things you need to know about pie charts. So, let's head to our Do You Know section. Pie chart was invented by the Scottish engineer William Playfair, who also invented bar graphs. But pie charts weren't really that big hit when he published them in his book in 1801.
Whoa, that's like many years back.
Yes, Neil, more than 2 centuries ago. And would you believe that the pie chart Playfair invented still looks the same, just that we tend to use more vibrant colors today than before?
Oh yes, I like the bright colors, Miss Marks.
These days, there are many variations of the pie charts, like polar area diagrams, pie charts, radial charts, exploded pie charts, 3D pie charts, and donut charts. However, still the most commonly used is the simple pie chart which we have studied. Now let's take a quick jog down memory lane to catch up on what we have learned on pie charts. In this module, we have learned following. A pie chart is a circular chart divided into sectors which represents all the categories of the given data. Various informations can be extracted out from a given pie chart. Pie chart of a given data can be drawn by first finding the central angle for each categories and then drawing the sectors using protractor. Well, that's all we have on pie charts today. So how was it?
So student, I hope you are understand what is pie chart. Now exercise 5.2 is your homework. Do it by yourself. If you have any problem, tell me on WhatsApp. Have a good day.